something else that's kind of going around the web that I thought would be interesting to talk about on the flip side of DC, Marvel and MCU. There's strong rumors that Ryan Gosling is in talks to play a character in the MCU. But the interesting part is there are 3 projects that he's rumored to be cast for. And I thought it would be, fun to pontificate on who he might be playing. I
Because
have
we
my
don't know.
theories.
Like, yeah, we just know he's been in talks for a major role, right? Is that kind of the only
Right.
thing we know?
Yeah, and the rumors now are Fantastic Four, Ghostrider, and Thunderbolts. So the Ghost Rider thing's kind of been around for a while, but Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts, it seems to be pretty evenly split online on what people think that he's going to be cast for. Um, I I think it's going to be Fantastic Four. I think my theory is I think he's going to be Doctor Doom. I'm going with that. I think personally, I think he's going to play Doctor Doom. I think that's the role that has the
Ooh.
gravitas that requires a-list actor like Ryan Gosling. I think it's safe to say that he's an A-lister. What do you think?
Yeah. How funny would it be to go from Ken straight to to
Doom?
Doom, dude?
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Latveria.
Dude, I mean, we've been talking about Doom fan casts for like how many years, dude? Like 15 years. So, yeah, I mean, that would be pretty awesome. I mean, you wouldn't, I'm not seeing very many rumors about Doom at all. Like, no one's really talking about it.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of exactly that reason that it would be kind of awesome. Because, it kind of plays against type. Like, you expect Ryan Gosling to either be like, you know, a handsome, suave character, which is not Doom, dude.
Right.
Which is pretty, like, makes it kind of awesome and might entice somebody like him to, like, want to do it. Obviously, the first thing I thought was Mole Man. I was really
Of course.
Mole Man is obviously the most important villain in the Fantastic Four Rogues Gallery.
There's a
So
part of me that wishes that, it's like something like Annihilus, something kind of outside of like the scope
actually,
of what you think.
that's possible because there
It
are
is.
rumors about that too. Like when they might have switched plans since then when they were trying to act like everything was going to be more cosmic. But like I know Annihilus was getting thrown around. That would be, bro. Let's make Ryan Gosling a giant bug man.
Dude, I'm be so stoked on that. The other rumor is that Thunderbolts, the antagonist, is going to be Sentry. And the rumor is that he could be
Yeah.
playing Sentry. I don't see that as much. I think that's too on the nose. I think they're only saying that because he's blonde.
I'm okay in this talk. Like, let me just say too that like, are we? I'm wondering what Thunderbolt story we're really gonna get because I like personally like the comics that I mostly were into were back in like the early 2005 4ish like with like the run of like Young Avengers and everything like that when the Avengers were disassembled, and one of the coolest arcs that came out in like 2008 or so was the Dark Avengers. And like that's when where the Sentry like really came in. Like he got put back in from like the Marvel obscurity as like a character, and it seems like they're following that
Yeah.
because Sentry was brought in as like a young Avenger who basically was kind of like had similar powers to Superman, where he was like uber popular, or I mean uber powerful. It seems like they're doing that. So I'm kind of like, how much of that is going to be in there? Like that's what I was rooting for because you also had like Norman Osborn like at the heart of it, and he kind of like tricks everybody in the whole world into thinking that like he was the hero that saved everybody, and so everybody moves on from the Avengers, and the Avengers are no more anymore. So he's like, he makes his own Avengers, and it's the Dark Avengers. And they're basically like it's hilarious because he's becomes the Iron Patriot and pretends to be like the most like patriotic, like amazing. And he has all these like terrible people and villains that are all like dressed up to be like the new Spider-Man is Venom, and it's like the new this person. So I was really hoping they would do that. But then, when calling it Thunderbolts, it's like they're going more into that stage of things, which like I'm definitely less familiar with Thunderbolts, but I don't know. The Sentry makes me think like, well, maybe they are doing like a Dark Reign, more of the Dark Reign storyline.
Yeah, I mean that would be super interesting. I don't see Gosling playing the Sentry. Um, it would be a very Marvel move if they went and got Henry Cavill to play that role. I think that would be pretty hilarious.
Dude, that would
Um,
be amazing.
it
As
would be
giant troll to DC, dude, to
giant
just
troll,
get.
but also an opportunity to let him do stuff, because he's not a bad actor. He wasn't a bad Superman. He was in a weird Superman movie and universe, but it would be awesome to see him, for the troll aspect for sure, but also just to see him kind of flex his muscles a little bit and play up
Uh,
that character and let him run with it. That's my
that's cool, man.
I would love to see that. I think that'd be really cool. The
Of
other thing
course,
is, go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say, like, of course, the other rumor is like Johnny Storm. That's obviously like the most obvious thing that like comes to mind. But
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, I don't know how young these actors are gonna be. Like, I don't know. I would kind of almost prefer like them to be a bit older and to like have, you know, have Reed and Sue like have their family and everything like that. But
I agree. I think that's the only way you can do it. Like, I don't. It's such a different movie. Those are such different characters in the style of Reed Richards is such a complex character that you need an actor that can kind of pull that off.
I don't need to see like a 22-year-old Reed Richards and
Yeah,
be like,
yeah, I
we're gonna
know.
see him for the next 30 years grow up. It's like I really don't need that.
Yeah,
Like, let's
that's
do that with
Spider-Man.
Like, that's
Yeah,
Spider-Man. That's fine. Like, we don't need
right,
that. Like,
right. So, I mean, the other rumor is that, and I think he indicated at some point that he wanted to play Ghost Rider. But Vince, if you could throw that picture,
that
we
would be
did find
pretty
fan
awesome.
art of Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider, and I wasn't sold until I saw it. It's pretty dope. That's Ryan Gosling as Sentry.
It
Some
looks
fan
pretty
art.
awesome as Sentry. I mean, anytime you can be
That's true.
cast as somebody with glowing eyes, that's pretty
Yeah,
great.
sure. Yeah, I mean, obviously, whatever they're gonna do with Ryan Gosling, they must have big plans for it, if that's even the
I
case.
mean,
But
dude, if you ask me, it's like it's pretty crazy that we haven't had like seen what's gonna happen with mutants yet, dude.
I know.
And like that's fine, dude. Take your time, make it amazing, like as long as it takes. But I'm almost like series like have such a like great possibility of being amazing. Like, I mean, I'm even like do X-Men as a series, dude. Like, take your
Yeah,
time with it. Like, I mean, how cool would that be to like have like really just like slow burn, go through everything, like,
for sure.
instead of being like Wolverine and Friends, that would just be so much more interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, it almost seems like the Kang Dynasty storyline is an albatross around Marvel's neck now. It almost seems like they now remind me, was Kang the Conqueror? Did Fox? Did they get the rights to him when they bought Fox, or was that a
I think so. I think they had him.
with
So
Fantastic Four?
yeah, I think so. I think King they had, and Galactus for sure they had. Obviously Doom. So a lot of big time villains were not accessible. So I mean, it definitely worked out really well for that. But yeah, Kang is definitely something in theory that could be cool, but something that I'm not quite that excited about.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, like I didn't like Loki very much, so that's not exactly getting things off on the right foot.
yeah.
But we'll see, man. I mean, I am like more excited about Quantumania now. We'll see what they do with it because
I'm excited about Quantumania. The thing I always come back to with that movie that I can't let myself get too excited is because it feels like Quantumania should have been the last movie. Like, it feels like
yeah.
it should have been Ant-Man and Wasp, and I don't know. It just makes like the whole Ant-Man and Wasp, and I need to revisit that movie because it's been a long time since I watched it. The first one too.
I
So
mean, I
maybe
think
that's something.
yeah, it's like we're expecting it to be more of in the quantum realm is what it seemed like it was going to be. Like structurally, it was almost like okay, the first act is like them getting into the quantum realm, and then we're in the quantum realm after that, and they're like
Yeah,
searching for something, and instead we got like a pseudo like heist movie where they're trying to get like the pieces to build the thing to then get to the quantum realm.
right.
But I think the weirdest thing about it is like it's been so long since then. I mean, like we had Infinity War and Endgame after that. Like
Yeah, it's
I don't
true.
know. It almost seems like to not be a thing. Like they rescued Janet, but it's like we barely even know who Janet is, and that was like so
Exactly.
long ago. It's like we don't know anything about what happened, and she seemed just like fine and unfazed. Like after coming out of the quantum realm, they're just like, oh great, we're family again. It's like,
Yeah,
wait,
exactly.
what? You've been gone for like freaking decades.
It was
and,
like
basically we're like living in a post-apocalyptic miniature like society. Like what?
it reminded me a lot of like the end of or Halloween Ends, where it's like they build Laurie Strode up to be this badass, and her daughter gets killed. Spoilers: her daughter gets killed, and there's all this terrible stuff that happens in Haddonfield, and they stick her in a hospital for half the movie. And then the third one starts, and she's just like, "Can I make you pancakes?" I'm just like, "What?" Like that
Yeah.
was so jarring.
They're
But
like,
anyway,
well, she gave up on everything and she's
yeah,
just pretending like it didn't happen.
I think we covered all the recent events. We had some hiccups that hopefully we can overcome in post. But
Fix
yeah,
in post.
overall, I think we continue to get things ironed out. I wanted to also note that all of the episodes of Chance and Penner Live will be up on our podcast feed, also called Chance and Penner Live, by the end of this week. So go check them out. Go check out our.
Now you can listen to us while you fall asleep, like an ASMR. You know, we can help you. We can be talking about nerdy stuff while you sleep, and it's available.
And tell your friends to do the same, because that would be great if you fell asleep and just listened to our stuff and it just ran all night. That would be awesome.
We can just talk like this instead the whole time.
What is James Gunn doing? He's screwing everything up. The Bat Family. Yeah, I think we have a new.
What's about Quantumania? How about that?
What's the deal with Janet Van Dyne? All right, I think that'll do it, boys, for this show.
If you're still here after this 6-hour episode, thank you so much.
Yeah, and let
really
us know.
It, guys.
Send us an email. We'll send you. We won't send you anything probably, but we'll
send us hate mail, because that way that we at least know that there's a couple people listening, and you'll motivate us to just keep going with our lives. And
actually, guys, our email's down.
Oh no! All of Gmail
Vince's mouse
down?
stopped working, so it's all down.
I broke it.
All right, boys. Well, remember that hate emails and hate messages are still engagement. So
any press is good press, baby.
Any press is good press, baby. All right. Well, thanks, producer Vince. Hope you can get your computer to stop smoking. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Also, maybe get a new motherboard. That was the only computer reference I could pull. But yeah, thanks, Dave. This is fun, and we'll be back next week. Maybe we can start, prepping for Quantumania by revisiting Ant-Man and Ant-Man the Wasp. It's kind of, it's 4 hours, but
yeah,
it'd be nice to revisit.
All right,
guys. Well, we'll see you next week. Check us out on all major podcast platforms,
but especially Pandora.
Skipping through the end times.